Okay, so earlier I posted um, on Facebook my latest Cricut project. Um, this is a picture of what I did. Um, this is a design that I was able to create using my daughter's drawing that she did. So my daughter drew this picture of her chinchilla, and I was able to use my, there she is with the blanket. I was able to use my um, Cricut program to convert the drawing into a Cricut design and then cut it out on iron on vinyl and iron it onto a blanket for her. So it's a pretty cool thing, pretty neat um, idea for her. She was really excited to have something that she drew um, converted to a design that could be put on a blanket. So I'll show you the drawing. So this was her original drawing. You can see it's just standard kid drawing on a piece of notebook paper. She drew it in pencil. So I took this drawing and I was able to load it to the Cricut program and convert it to something like this. Um, and I was able to cut it and all that. So pretty cool thing to do. And um, I could have designed this a couple different ways. It was completely custom. I could edit it any way I wanted to edit it. We decided to go with an outline um, of it, like an empty outline. I could have just left all of this, a solid piece and just have a silhouette of the chinchilla or whatever. I could have done whatever I wanted with it. But this is what we chose to do. And as you can see, it is just like her drawing. I was even able to keep these little detailed lines that she put in here and cut them out so that it looked, you could have that fuzzy look um, in the actual design image. So that was cool. For the words that she did, she obviously, you know, designed this wording herself. I could have used that. I had it all ready to go to cut and use that. But she decided at the last minute that she'd rather I just use an actual font on the computer for her words instead of the words that she drew out. So we ended up going that route instead. But even the wording was possible. I had it all ready to go just like this. So, but it turned out really cute. So I'm gonna go ahead and show you how you load and edit a freehand drawing into the program to make it into a Cricut design project. So here we go. I'm going to get out of this and I'm going to go to I do this on my phone because it's easier for me because I have, all that stuff, like the pictures that I want to use and stuff on my phone. But if you use like Google Cloud or whatever, and you have access to your pictures or drawings or whatever on your computer, you can do it on your computer too. But I just do it on my phone because it's easier. And I have a Galaxy Note phone, so I like to use my Galaxy Pen to do the edits that I do. It's just easier that way, but I'm sure it's just as easy probably on the computer. It might be even easier on the computer. I don't know. I just like to be able to sit on my phone and do it wherever I'm at. And then just save it in the program. And whenever I go and open the program on my computer, it's there. So anyway, so what I do is I click on my Cricut Design Space app and it opens up and I go to new project. So I click on that. And then down here, you can see my little pointer right here. Down here, you go to upload, you click on that, and then you can select from photo library. So what I did was I took a picture of her drawing and I go to my select photo from library and I can pull this up and I can go to my gallery. This is just my photo gallery, pictures that I take using my phone. And I just click on her drawing and it loads it up here. Now this is where I clean it up and edit it how I want it. So, and then this little screen up here where it's this black square, this is your preview of what your design is going to look like. So right now it's just all black. Right now this picture is being seen as just a mass of, you know, if I were to cut this, if I wanted my machine to cut this, it doesn't see anything but a mass of space. So to do this, you can do this a couple different ways. Some things are easy to clean up by just clicking this little wand that says remove. You can use that and just click on different parts of the picture and see that's what it would look like if it was like that. I don't want to do that, so I'm going to undo. And this is how you control the amount of stuff that your wand removes. It says color tolerance, so I think that it just picks up on, like, you know, different shades of color so that whenever you hit the screen, so like I turned it down, so now if I hit it again, you can see that there were certain things that it alters the amount that it pulls away color-wise. So that's just something to kind of play with. But I ended up not doing any of that because for what we wanted to do with this particular image, it required a bit more detail than that. So I had to hand edit this. So how I did that was, the first thing that you need to think about when you're doing this is, if I want to cut out my chinchilla, I'm going to have to do this in stages. At least that's the way that I like to do it. I like to think about the different stages because when I go to cut this, I might want to cut it in different colors of vinyl. So like if I want to do the words that she wrote out here, I might want to cut those words out in, say, a green or a blue vinyl, and I might want to cut this guy out in like a gray vinyl or something. So if you're going to use different colors and, like, you know, cut it in different ways, for me it's just easier for me to keep it all separate in my mind, so I do it all separate. So for this particular project, what I did first was I decided I'm going to cut this chinchilla out first. I'm going to edit the chinchilla first. And then whenever I want to do the words, I'll just redo this process again, only doing the words. So once the chinchilla is done and saved as a Cricut design, then I'll go back to my upload screen, upload the image again, and it'll bring me back here, and then I'll just edit it to leave just the words. And then I can save those for a separate Cricut design. So what I did was, the first thing you want to do is, I found that it's really nice if you crop, if you try and crop as much space out as you can. That saves you time in editing things because it's less to edit then. So I just want this chinchilla. So I'm just going to crop it to where I have mainly just the chinchilla. So I can crop that. So now I've got the chinchilla. So now I take my eraser, and you can change the size of your eraser here. So for these bigger areas out here at the sides, I just took my eraser and got rid of that. I can take my eraser and get rid of this. And you can zoom in and out so you can see most of your screen. And so I just edit this all out. Oops, undo. Sometimes that happens. And get the edges out of the way here. So I did that. So now it'll be easier for me to edit this with my detailed lines here, because now what I'm going to have to do is I'm going to have to make my eraser smaller. And I'm going to have to zoom in because I'm going to want to get rid of a lot of this here. And so I get rid of this. And what I did with that particular design was I just got real close like that with my pen. And I had to do this all around the outside of her drawing. I just went right up to her pencil lines and just shaded away all this extra stuff that I don't want. And so it's kind of a tedious process. Takes a bit of time to do it like this, but you know, the end result is super cool. And it was kind of neat to be able to do that for her. Put her drawing onto a blanket and customize it. And so as you're doing this, so what I did was I got rid of everything around the chinchilla. And then so for the initial like idea of just doing the silhouette of the chinchilla, and you'll be able to see this in a second whenever I get some of this pulled away here. So, and if you accidentally like mess up or you accidentally erase something that you didn't mean to erase, there's an undo button, and you can just click that and just redo your moves here. And so you can see how this gets pretty time consuming. But this is what I did all around it. And I'll just do this bit around the head and face area so that you can get an idea of what the silhouette would look like if you just did the silhouette. You got to be very careful and have a steady hand doing this. And this is why I like using my my phone to do these edits, because I like using my S Pen to do this, because I just feel like I can get really, really detailed, and it's like it just feels more natural to me to use an actual like pen. It gives you that pen to paper kind of feel versus using a mouse on a computer and clicking around. And so if I just did his head part, just to give you an idea of the silhouette coming to life up there in the corner. So, a bit time consuming, a bit tedious. Not all of these designs or whatever that you choose to do are going to be this tedious. This is probably the most tedious edit I've done so far with my Cricut. See, now I accidentally got a little bit too much of this ear cut off, so I'm just going to undo that. I'm going to shrink my eraser down, and I'm going to redo it. I'm going to try and be more careful. So, let's see. Whoops. Okay, so now you can kind of start to see, now that I got some of this stuff cut out, you can see in the corner up here where the silhouette of this chinchilla is starting to come to life, because I'm shading away all of this extra stuff that we don't want in it. And I did that the first time initially. I shaded away all around the chinchilla. I got rid of all this. And then I went in and I got rid of, let's try this remove wand here. Let's see what that does to the eye. See? So I went in and removed, oops, undo. I guess I need to fix this again. What did I do? Oh, I see. All right, so I did this at first. Let's shrink that down a bit. And I removed all of the stuff. I had his eyeball cut out. I had his nose cut out because I thought this would be cute. And then I was thinking about just cutting. So I had just the silhouette of the chinchilla. So just like what you see up here, the whole chinchilla would just be black, or whatever whatever color vinyl you use. It would just be one solid piece, one solid color. And then I was thinking about using a different color vinyl and just cutting out the eye and the nose to layer it on top of there. But so I could have had just the silhouette of the chinchilla. But then my daughter and I decided, it'd be really cool if we made it a little more detailed than that. And so I was like, all right, we can do that. So I'll undo this. And we'll put the eyeball back where it was. So then we decided that I would just edit out the inside of the chinchilla as well and make it more of just an outline of the chinchilla with all the details. So what I did to do that was I went on the inside And her pencil lines here on the very edge of the chinchilla, those lines are very thin for the machine to cut. I mean, it will do that, but it would be really difficult to weed all that out and then try and, you know, you don't want the lines too thin, because then too, if it's just the outline with these thin lines, it wouldn't show up very well on the blanket when we transferred it on there. So what I did was I just went on the inside and I just left like a thicker, whoops, that's a bit too big for me. I just left like a thicker inside line. So I brought it in like this. And I just kind of traced everything out like this. And like with his little nose, I was able to kind of trace around his little nose. And just kind of I'll show you what I did for that little bit by his right here, this little bit. If you just take your little wand thing and I just tap on that and it cut that out for me. So now I'm back to my eraser and I just continued to kind of trace around these little detailed areas. Kind of have a little bit of a mouth cut out here. And so what I did was I just went all around the inside edge of my chinchilla, giving it, you know, a decent enough line thickness that it would cut nicely and transfer nicely and we'd be able to see it fine. So I just did that, and then when I came up to these little line details, I just traced them out with kind of a bigger line pattern so that it would be a thicker cut. And then what you do is, once you've got the outer edges of your design all like traced out like that, then you can do the little magic wand. And hold on, there's a spot I missed. You can do the little magic wand, right? Because now I've just got to get rid of all this inside bit. Instead of using my eraser for that, I can just tap on my magic wand and just start clicking that away. And then that helps saves me a job. And then you'll see that you still have these little bits left. So then you can just go over that with the eraser real fast and just get rid of it. And this is your preview up here. So this shows you exactly what it's going to look like when it's a finished design. And just edit that out. Okay, so there's that bit. And then try and get all these little pieces out, because your machine will cut all those little specks out. So if you left some little specks inside the design, and I did, when I originally did this, there was some little specks left from my erasers and whatnots. And the machine did cut those little specks and everything, but it wasn't a big deal to my project because I was weeding all this extra out of my vinyl anyway. So it just, I just didn't use the little specks, that's all. So then, like, I did the same thing with these ears. I just kind of gave it a thicker line. So you can kind of see the idea here. So like this ear will be an easy thing for me to do real quick. So I just do the outline of the inside of the ear. I'm doing this kind of quick, so it's kind of sloppy. When I originally did this for my daughter's design, I was very careful and slow about it, and I was very, very tedious about it. And so now I can take my little magic eraser and get rid of all that. See? So that's gone. I can get my little eraser out again and just kind of go over that to get rid of these little extra bits. Okay, so that kind of gives you an idea. You can kind of see them up here coming to life. I even took my little wand thing, clicked right there, and left the little shine for his eyeball there. So I won't edit any more on this because, yeah, it's kind of a long, tedious process. So if I click on this, this is the image, and this will show you, like, look, I got these little specks down here that I could go back in with my eraser and make sure that I get those erased out. So I can do that now. Just get rid of these little specks. So now when I click back on there, the specks are gone. So that's a good thing. Shows you, you know, where you need to erase better and stuff. So anyway, once you've got that, once you've got the design how you want it and you're happy with it, then you just hit next. And it will ask you if you want to save it as a cut image or save it as a print, then cut image. So if this was a design that I wanted to print and then cut it out. So that would have been a good thing to do had I wanted to. I could have just left her drawing as it was, and I could have just weeded, I could have just edited out all the junk around the drawing, and then it would have printed out her drawing of the chinchilla, and then I could have just cut the drawing out. But I haven't even tried any of that printer stuff yet, and I don't even have a printer right now that works to be able to do that. So anyway, I always save my stuff as a cut image because I'm cutting it and I'm going to put it on. So then you just name your image, and then you would hit save. And then it's saved into your design space. I'm not saving this right now because I already have one saved. So I'll show you the one that I have saved. You can open uploaded images. And these are all the images I have uploaded. This is the chinchilla that I did, just like how I showed you. And you can see here, these are the letters that I did earlier. Then she decided she didn't want to use her letters. So anyway, that's the chinchilla that I did earlier. So I'm going to insert that. And see, you can see all these little specks that I didn't erase out good enough. But like I said, after I cut it and I was weeding all this out, I just, the specks came out with it. So it was not a big deal to my project, but it is something to be mindful of because, sometimes it might be a big deal. So this was my image, and now I've got it in my little design space, and I can do with it whatever I want. These were her words that she freehanded, and I cut, or I mean, I edited. So this could have been made just like her drawing was originally. But like I said, she decided she didn't so much like her words very well, the way she did them. So she wanted me just to use regular font, and so I did. So yeah, it's pretty basic. I've got some other things that I did with this using that method of editing pictures. For example, I'll show you this. So these, you can see these little faces and stuff. These are all from a project that I did. I found an image like this online. I just went online. I just Googled cute olive clip art, whatever. And I found this olive, and this originally, the original image that I found on Google had this olive U. So it was like, I love you, olive you. And it had like a U under here, and it was all designs and everything. Well, I was able to load that Google image. I was able to save the image to my phone, and then I loaded the image here in my design space, and I edited out the things that I didn't want in the image. And then I decided, see how this has different colors in it? Well, when you're going to cut out different colors on your Cricut with different colored vinyl, you kind of have to have all this separated for each different color. And so that's where you see these faces, where it's just like these different like face pieces and like these leaves, because these are all different colors that I did. So I had to edit it in stages and edit out different parts that I wanted for different colors, if that makes sense. So this is another one I did. This was just a Google clip art that I found, and I was able to edit out. So all of this image here was green. So I can go ahead and put this in my thing and show you. So this, I edited to look like that because I was going to make those a green color. So I'll just show you right now. Let's just say that green, that green. I'll just stick with that green. So now that's green. And then I had to separately edit the faces for it. So right here, because I was going to make these a different color. And so here's your little, and then you're able just to line it up where it goes. And line it up like so. See, this is the part where I would always go to my computer to do it, because it is harder to do it on your phone with your touch screen when you're trying to do this part. So once I was done editing these, I would just then open up the program on my computer and do it on my computer. So this, I would make that color, let's say, or maybe a pinky color. Let's just try that color. So then I put that color on there. And my touchscreen is not working the way I want it to. And so then I could do the eyes here. So now I've got, and I had a separate one done up for that. So here's my eyes. And I left those black. I cut those out on black vinyl for this project. And again, it's not working very well using my touch screen because it's not very intuitive with my touch screen on my phone. So this is where, like I said, I would get on the computer and it all lines up a lot better on the computer screen with the mouse. But anyway, that's an idea. So this kind of gives you an idea of why you would want to edit things out separately if you're doing different colors for different things, because then you have to layer it on. And I did this as an iron-on vinyl, and I can actually show you the finished project of that. Let's see. If I go back to home and I look at my projects, this was the project that I did for that. This was the other one. So you can see this one is all set and ready to go with my different layers and stuff. So it's pretty neat. I mean, you know, and Google has tons of images online for free that you can find and just do. Obviously, if you're an artist and you're into drawing or painting or doing your own designs, well, I just showed you that you can easily convert those drawings, you know, your freehand drawings or your freehand paintings or whatever it is that you're doing, you can easily convert that into a Cricut design and have it ready-made to cut out like I did with my daughter's chinchilla drawing. Simple as that. You just snap a photo of the drawing, load the photo to your Cricut app or whatever if you're on your computer or your phone, and then you just use that screen that I showed you to edit it to look the way you want it to look, make it a workable Cricut design, and there you have it. It's done. So pretty simple, and hopefully that helps anyone who wants to do that. Hopefully that this video was helpful in showing you how to do that. Obviously, if you have any questions, feel free to reach out. But I guess that's pretty much all I got. There you have it.